Hello and welcome to Digital Farm TV Rural News. I'm Andy Walker. Australian wheat prices continue climbing as a result of drought conditions in the Midwest United States, driving down corn production forecasts. National Australia Bank Agribusiness Director Tim Glass has urged growers to closely monitor their expected yield and forward sold percentages to maximise returns. The corn and soybean crop in the US was one of the key world drivers of Australian wheat prices, according to the NAB. The crop there had been hit hard, with little to no rain for 6 weeks and high temperatures of 32 to 43 degrees occurring consistently across most crop growing areas. During the past 6 weeks, yield estimates for corn had fallen from 166 to 149 bushels per acre, with some suggestion the weather conditions could drive yields down to 140 bushels per acre within weeks. Australia, New Zealand and the US have all taken a big swipe at Canadian pork subsidies following the nation's admission to the Trans-Pacific Partnership at the G20 summit in Mexico. The three countries say Canada's overt subsidisation of domestic pork production was an abuse of free trade principles and impacted on producers elsewhere. Australian Pork Limited CEO Andrew Spencer described Canadian domestic agricultural subsidies as being so wide-ranging they had a broad and far-reaching impact on overseas markets. New Zealand Pork CEO Owen Simmons said Canadian farmers received a guaranteed return for their pork production. This sort of blatant subsidisation placed competing pork producers who did not subsidise production at a distinct market disadvantage. Australia's national peak vegetable producer body, AusVeg, has launched a new online platform to help growers monitor the environmental impact of their businesses. AusVeg Environment Coordinator Jordan Brooke Barnett says the new EnviroVeg website would help modernise the sector, allowing growers to compare their environmental performance with that of their peers in a number of ways. The new website would collect data from self-assessments and present detailed results showing how growers were performing at the national and state levels, all by crop type and farm size, according to AusVeg. Around 300 growers who collectively farm around 50,000 hectares of vegetable growing land are participating in the program. The EnviroVeg website was launched last week at the New South Wales Farmers Association in Sydney by the CEO of Horticulture Australia, John Lloyd. The Federal Agriculture Minister, Joe Ludwig, has given the Liberal National Party coalition a surprise media slap for its lack of interest in agriculture. Why? The Liberals and Nationals had confirmed they had no interest in representing the interests of Australian farmers in federal parliament, with the entire coalition asking only one parliamentary question on agriculture so far this year, the minister said. He described this as a damning mid-year report card for the Conservative side of the House. So far in 2012, the Liberals hadn't bothered to ask a single question about agriculture, fisheries or forestry during parliamentary question time. And the National Party hadn't performed much better, racking up a score of 1. Still in Canberra, National Farmers Federation Chief Jock Laurie had come out with guns blazing at a Senate inquiry recommendation to set up a new peak body representing Australian agriculture. The inquiry had overstepped its terms of reference in encouraging the agricultural sector to waste resources on another cross-industry body, Jock Laurie said. This was at a time when the NFF had achieved policy wins on foreign investment, had represented Australian agriculture at the Rio Plus 20 Forum, and had called on the Prime Minister to deliver new policies to ensure a strong and sustainable ag sector. The NFF had a powerful reputation, a strong and established relationship with government, and had a record of achievement with major outcomes for the business of farming. A part of history was lost this week when the Albury flour mill was demolished. The mill operated in Albury for 97 years before Allied Mills centralised its operation to Picton in 2009. The New South Wales Heritage Council decided in November last year to take no action on an independent expert's advice that the brick mill and concrete silos were of exceptional state heritage significance and should be protected. Digital Farm TV was there this week for the final days of the mill. Finally, the weather. Last week, a series of cold fronts delivered crucial rainfall on cue for the areas that most needed it. The Mallee in Victoria, around Geraldton in Western Australia and Western New South Wales. A surface trough over Central Australia linked to a weakening low pressure system over southeast South Australia produced showers, thunderstorms and rain areas in Western Queensland, parts of South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales. Falls between 15 and 50 millimetres were recorded in coastal southwest Western Australia, eastern South Australia, western New South Wales, the New South Wales coastal fringe, southeast Queensland and western Tasmania.